In this video, I'm going to take you through the exact personal branding strategy that has generated my clients multiple six figures, hundreds of thousands of qualified views, and has allowed them to become market leaders in their niches. But this wouldn't be possible without following the 5 steps that I'm gonna break down in this video. Firstly, I'm gonna talk about ideation, next, what to post, and at the end, I'm gonna break down the 3 content types, which are top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, and bottom of the funnel content. With the last one being the most important, since content types define how people are gonna perceive your brand, and it's gonna determine the quality of the leads that you're gonna be able to attract. Now, let's start with the foundation, which is ideation. And I could sit here and tell you, just copy viral reels, like every other guru on YouTube. But the truth be told is, you clicked on this video because you want to learn how to build a profitable personal brand that generates you hundreds of thousands of dollars every single year, like it does for my client Oli and Thomas. So here's what you actually need to do. Instead of looking what's working on social media, what the algorithm is pushing, look at what's working in your sales process and figure out why clients chose you. In every niche, there's tens of competitors. But if people decide to pay you $5, $10, $20,000 to be coached by you, to learn from you, there is something fundamentally different that separates you from every other coach in your niche. And it's the reason why people choose you, why people want to work from you, why people want to learn from you. I want you to remember that the most profitable personal brands aren't built on trends, but by leaning into what makes them unique. For example, let's look at Shelby Sepp. When she got into the high-ticket sales space, every coach was making polished content, film with a camera. Everything was scripted and it needed to really be and look perfect. So what did she do? The exact opposite. She grabbed her phone, sat in her car, and just decided to film raw iPhone videos on sales. And we all know that format is one of the main reasons why she blew up in the first place. And over the years, her brand developed several associations. And yeah, these are pretty much the core reasons why girls want to work with her. And it's also what makes Shelby different from every other sales coach in the space. I really want you to remember that this is your biggest asset. And if you don't find it, you're just gonna look like everybody else. Now, how do you find it? It's through onboarding forums. And feel free to pause the video right now and just screenshot the exact questions that I'm showing on the screen. But essentially, when you sign a new client, make sure to send them this forum before you hop on an onboarding call with them, because it's really going to give you all the data. And most importantly, question 10 is, there's other online coaches. Why did you choose me? This is essentially gonna show you what makes you different, why people choose you, and then you can simply lean into it. But as important as it is to figure out why people choose you, it's also important to know why people don't choose you. So what you can do is look at your last month sales calls, grab all the fed and transcripts, dump them in Claude, and then just start spotting patterns that either you or your closers see on sales calls. And with this information, you're going to be able to intentionally plan your middle of the funnel and bottom of the funnel content, which we're going to talk more about later in the video. Now, let's talk about what to post. And the way that I like to reframe this question for every single one of my clients is essentially asking them what does your business actually need at the moment? If you need more leads, you need to post more top of the funnel content. If you need more trust, you need to post more middle of the funnel content. And if you already have a bunch of leads who trust you, but there are still no conversions happening, you need bottom of the funnel content. But I really want you to remember that there is no right or wrong. There is no perfect schedule to essentially this split of middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel, or top of the funnel content. All you have to do is look at your business data and then make decisions based on that. You never want to guess or act on your emotions, because you're gonna miss every single time. This is part of a custom software that my clients get access to, and in there we have a tracking page where founder, and the entire team can see the business overview. Obviously, as you can see on top is like revenue, ad spend, calls booked, and here we can see like closers performance, setters performance, and there's a bunch of other stuff. But essentially, just by looking at these numbers, when obviously the EODs are submitted, you can spot where are the issues. Is it like when it comes to like sales conversions? Is it with show rates? Is it like through setting? And then you can obviously pinpoint the bottlenecks, make decisions based on that, and obviously then figure out should you more prioritize top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, and bottom of the funnel. And obviously it's also important that you speak to your team on your weekly team calls to figure out what's going on in your DMs and obviously on calls to get even more data to make or obviously get closer to the right decisions. Now, obviously, the last thing is content types. And I'm going to start with the top of the funnel content. The thing that I want you to understand is that we have two different things. We have dream follower and we have your dream client. Now, the dream follower is essentially people who are fans of what you do and what you're building. And obviously, dream clients are essentially your ICP. And the biggest mistakes that so many people are making is they're trying to like only target their dream clients, but what this happens is that the videos are stuck at like 500, 1,000 views. So like you need to play the game of social media just a bit, because like if you look at how Instagram works, whenever you post a video, it gets pushed to, let's say, 100 people. And if you're only trying to target your dream client, only 5% of those 100 viewers are gonna be your dream client. And for example, they're gonna drop a like or a comment, but the rest, 95 people are gonna skip the video because obviously it doesn't relate to them and they're simply not interested in what you're saying. And what's gonna happen is your video is gonna plateau at, as I said before, 200, 500, 1,000 views, and you're never gonna actually see the growth that you want. But if you're making top of the funnel content for your dream follower, the total addressable market is so much bigger that you actually have a chance of generating 100, 200, 500,000 views. And as these people consume more of your middle of the funnel and bottom of the funnel content, you're essentially going to be able to extract your dream followers from this bigger pool of people, because these fans still align with your values. For example, this video that got 229,000 views for Oli was a top of the funnel piece of content that was speaking to his dream follower. Now, the values that Oli has is he wants to take care of his family, he wants to make money online, and obviously travel the world. And it's the same for his dream followers and also potentially dream clients. And it's obviously what we conveyed in this video, where he, for example, got his brother's reaction to making 60k per month at 20. And obviously you can also see a nice background. I think he was in South America at the time. So visually and verbally, we're hitting all these values, which means we're gonna attract the right dream followers. And this video is not just gonna go randomly viral and get, I don't know, a bunch of Indians. Next, let's talk about middle of the funnel content. And the thing that I want you to remember here is show, don't tell. The market got so sophisticated that you need to show people you're an expert. You need to show people that you're competent, that you can actually get somebody a result, and this is gonna lead them to their own conclusion. Nobody essentially just believes somebody's words on the internet if they just tell some stuff. Because yeah, people are skeptical, they've been burned, and as I said, the market just got very, very sophisticated, even like in the B2C space as well. Now, the best way to approach your marketing is by analyzing when you're in flow state with your clients and then simply filming that. The format that I absolutely love is these roadmap sessions. For example, my client Ozzy is a fitness coach, and he filmed this video with his client, essentially breaking down how he would approach getting shredded in 2026. And he broke it all down on this whiteboard. And through this format, you can really see that he's an expert. He knows exactly what to do. He gave him a lot of clarity, and obviously an added bonus is also like client's reaction and him like saying, whoa, like this is something that I've never thought about before, which just increases his authority, expertise, and skill level. Another great format is, for example, you recording coaching sessions that you have with your clients or like group calls. And then obviously you can either post that on YouTube, but it needs to be packaged the right way, or you can clip that up and use it in short form. Another great format is obviously you sitting down with your client and filming a testimonial. Obviously, I always say, if you have a chance, always do them in person, like in a nice location, either like a podcast studio, or if you're with your clients in like Marbella or like these other places, get a nice background, because like that helps a ton with just like how people perceive your brand and like the quality around it, obviously if it's in that direction. And then yeah, with all these formats that you're filming it, this is all long form content that can get clipped into short form pieces. And yeah, it just helps to then nurture people on Instagram with middle of the funnel content as well. But obviously the most important part here is that through Instagram stories, you push them to YouTube videos. Now, the most important thing that I want you to do here with middle of the funnel content is to detach from views. The point of these videos is not to go viral, but is to nurture the dream followers you were able to attract with your top of the funnel content. This is the most important thing. Don't stress. Look, these videos have 300 views, 400 views, but both of these booked at least 2 to 3 calls and made him close to $10,000. Just 2 YouTube videos, and we just started with Ozzy on YouTube. He has like, I think 300 or 400 subscribers. So really detach from views, because the point of this is not to get views, as I said, but is to nurture and get people closer to buying, or even to get them to book a call. Now, obviously, the last thing is your bottom of the funnel content, where you essentially just need to identify what are the objections that people still to have. Because now people obviously like you, they know you, and they trust you, but they still aren't converting. And the best way to figure out how to do that, again, is to grab the transcripts of the sales calls that you had the previous month, dump it all into Claude, and essentially figure out what are the objections that your closers or setters are still facing. And then you just need to find a value front-facing video and just essentially break all of those objections through that video. And the best way that we found to approach that is through like a podcast that your client would have with another like market leader in their niche. So obviously Josh Granger is Ollie's direct competitor, and both of their businesses are thriving. And when both of these guys sat together, they borrow each other's authority, and essentially, yeah, the video is like value front-facing, how to fix your life and escape the 9 to 5. But obviously, through this 15-minute podcast, we literally broke every single one of the objections that we listed out. Literally everything. The questions were formed in a way where it was executed to perfection. Now, if you're still sitting there and watching this video and you're saying to yourself, look, Martin, this breakdown was amazing. I know exactly what I need to do to build my brand the right way so it can generate me hundreds of thousands of dollars every single year, but I don't want to spend the next 6 to 12 months like figuring it all out, trying, testing, failing, not really knowing how to approach something, and you want me to build everything out for you, completely down for you. So all you need to do is essentially just show up, fill in content, and close deals on your calendar. There's a link in the description where you can book a one-on-one call with me. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to pitch you on that call. I just want to audit your brand and your business, identify the bottlenecks, and if it's going to make sense, I can walk you through what I have on my end, but if not, it's totally fine. You're essentially just going to leave the call with a bunch of value. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, found a lot of value in it. If there's any questions, just leave them in the comments below or hit me up on Instagram. And yeah, I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Peace.